Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be creating this amazing fall makeup look that can take you to any event, any occasion, and it can be worn day or night. I'm going to be playing with some new palettes. We've got the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, as well as some Dose of Colors Desi X Katie. So let's get started. This is 21 colors. Look how insane this is. I want to just use the warm tones because I still have to wear this look during the day, and I feel like that's the most wearable. When I take polls on my Instagram to see what people are into, some people like fun colors, but for the most part, warm colors always wins, like warm neutral looks, wearable looks, natural, you won't get stares when you go to the grocery store looks. So let's jump in with this weekender color, and I'm just going to actually use this to pat this and set this over the entire eye. You can use any type of powder for this step. I'm just using an eyeshadow since I want to use as many colors as I can. Okay, so now my little trick for always finding the crease is to actually take your light color, and that's Breakaway, and I'm just going to take that with a 217 brush and I'm just going to pat that on the inner tear duct. So now we can actually see where our crease is and where we want to place the rest of our colors based on how dark that looks in contrast to the light. And I'm actually cradling the lower tear duct as well. So my goal in this video is to use as many colors as I can and try to get the most just playtime with these colors. So let's go in with Riff. This is like a beautiful peanut butter cognac color brown. And we're just gonna go in and start to buff in the crease a little bit and start to create shape. I'm gonna take this color up into this brow area right here and kind of almost down towards the nose contour. So these are pigmented. They are pigmented. I do feel like I have to go back into the palette and pick up quite a bit with my brush to really get the color on there, but I like how it's not overly pigmented. Sometimes I feel like when shadows are like just bam, super saturated, you don't have a lot of playtime. Like you've got to really get it on and then blend it out and try to make it work. This is like definitely a very good beginner's palette, I think. Number one, because it has a ton of colors and it's compact so you can travel with it, but also because you can build, and so it kind of takes that margin for error out of the whole situation. Okay, so now I want to go in and kind of deepen up the crease a little bit. Let's go in with Punk. This is the color I swatched in store that actually made me buy the entire palette. It is very, very, very creamy. I'm hoping it's a little more creamier than that peanut buttery color that I just put on. I'm just going to kind of pop that straight into the crease. I'm using a smaller brush for this because I really want to keep this color concentrated right in this little crease area right here. Now let's go in with The Good Is Gone, which is this darker brown color. It's a little more charcoal. And pop that on right over that. So to avoid my eyes kind of starting to create this like oval effect, I'm actually going to take that dark color and then I'm just going to push it against my lower lash line and almost create like a triangle right here. This helps with your eyeshadow and it helps open up your eyes and not look so closed in. And then to blend this in together, I'm actually going to take Baja, and where that peanut buttery color and the dark brown meet and where it's really splotchy, I'm just going to take this orange color and then buff it over and give it something nice to blend into. That actually is, I'm really, really happy with that. I really like that. Let's go back in with a little bit more of the Punk and kind of repeat those steps and just build up the crease as much as we can. I feel like when we blended out with the orange, we lost a little bit, so let's just add a tad more in there. So right where this brown is now meeting this orange, I'm going to hold my brush on the side and then just kind of buff that in. We lost a little bit of the brow highlight on this side, so I'm just going to go back in with my Weekender color and then kind of pat that underneath the brow and make sure that we have nice distinction between the brow and the crease. Okay, so now let's actually get started on the lid portion because I feel like we're at a good place with our crease. Okay, so looking at this palette, I really want to use this color Double Life. I just want to do something really warm and beautiful in fall, and that's the color that catches my eye the most. So I'm going to take my MAC Studio Fix foundation and I'm just going to pump a little bit of that onto a flat synthetic brush, and we're just going to start to pat that onto the center of the lid, kind of work our way into the inner tear duct and start to create a little bit of a crease, a cut crease. So I'm stopping, this is actually a really good, easy way to figure this out. Where your eyeball stops, you're just going to kind of keep it right there and line it up right next to that. You don't want it to go past the width of your eye. Let's take Blaze right here. Super into that. And we're just going to pat that onto the eye. I'm taking it a little bit into the tear duct as well. And now let's go in with the, you know what, I can't decide if I want to do this or this. They both catch my eye. Let's go in with Accelerate. Plot twist. So I'm going to go and patch Accelerate on to the eye where that darker brown crease color is meeting that lighter lid color. Or some colors in this palette I've noticed are like significantly creamier than others. Obviously, like traditionally shimmery colors are blended and jet milled in a way that they are creamier. I definitely see that with this palette. Like the really shimmery tones are definitely easier to work with, and then the ones that don't have as much shimmer, they're like more transition colors, are patchier, and I'm having to work with them a little bit more. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing though. And now I'm just going to take my blending brush with a little bit of that Baja again, and then I'm just going to buff right over all of those colors and kind of bring them in. This is different from the way other people do makeup. They would traditionally not touch that color or this region, but to me, I just feel like to make it the most wearable, we just need to go back over certain areas with our transition colors and make it all one. Okay, and then to kind of take it in more brown direction and less orange, we're now going to go in with that Double Life, and I think this will kind of give this the perfect fall touch. So I'm just going to go over that right here on the lid. I don't want this area to be so starkly contrasted with the outer portion. I'm just blending that out with our Baja transition color. So that is a very wearable brown look. I'm actually going to pop on some foundation. I've been using the CoverGirl True Matte blends. I use color T70 and D10 in Golden Caramel and Caramel. I have to make, these lids are so dirty. I'm so sorry. I when I say I do my makeup, like I really do it like in the car while I'm at red lights, not driving, and on the go. And this has been my go-to foundation. So I'm going to pop these on, and then we're going to finish off the under eye area. So I have my foundation on, and then for concealer, I've been using NC25 Studio Fix foundation from MAC as my concealer. I just really love the consistency of that, and I realized that the only thing I ever really wanted in a concealer was for it to have coverage like that, so I was like, why don't I just use that? And now I went over that little area with the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I'm just kind of pushing that into the skin as it dries, and then I'm working my way up from the bottom to the top. So as I get closer to the lash line, I'll use a different brush, but for now I'm just kind of pushing that into the skin and patting motions with a very flat brush. And now I'm going to go in with a smaller, flatter brush and go in right around the eyes. Alright, so now let's set that under eye area. I'm going to go to my Maybelline Fit Me powder in color 20 Light Medium. So that's just going to lock in the under eye concealer area. I'm actually going to take this color down the bridge of my nose as well. I really love the consistency of this powder. I think for powder in general, but then specifically because it's drugstore, I'm like blown away. And Maybelline products in general are just my favorite. Like anytime I go to the drugstore, I know I have a couple favorites, like my NYX micro brow pencil, but then the Maybelline powder, like I just use that to clean up this area, and it just kind of like softened it up. No harsh lines. It's so good. And then to set the rest of the face, I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever translucent loose powder. I love this powder. I forgot how much I loved it, but it's very good. So my tip, and I actually did an entire blog post over this, but my tip for making sure that you don't have like any flashback in photos is that after you set your face with translucent loose powder, you need to go in with a skin tone colored powder, even like the Maybelline Fit Me powder that I just used to set with, and add one layer on top of that finishing powder, because what it's going to do is kind of create a really light little veil so that when you have flash photography, you don't see that bounce back that you would if you just had straight setting powder on your face. Okay, so now we're going to go in and add our third veil of powder. To add some dimension into the face, I'm going to go in with my MAC Studio Fix powder in NC25, which I've clearly hit pan on. I'm just going to go in and chisel out the cheekbones, and then we're going to actually deepen up our contour with eyeshadow and create a blush using this eyeshadow palette. So I am really like a big fan of just using one palette for as many things as you can and not having to pack multiple things. Like I feel like if you have a jumbo palette with 21 colors, you should be able to use those on more places than just your eyes. So now with my same Morphe M544 brush, I'm going to take in that color Punk right here, just a little bit. This could either go really wrong or really right. We'll find out. And we're just going to go in and kind of take that color and pop it on the jawline, horizontally and then vertically, and we're just going to kind of create a little bone structure here. And that actually went really well. Like I really like, you can see how much prettier this looks here than here. I love a good contour. So we're just gonna throw that on. Add a little bit of that color underneath the lip to make our lip look fuller. And now we're actually gonna take this punk color, we're gonna mix it with the Riff color and throw it onto the cheekbones. And now we're gonna go to the smaller color and just take a tiny bit of that punk color mixed with the Riff, and we're gonna start to take care of this nose. Taking more of that Riff color, and then I'm just gonna really focus on this tip right here, shortening the tip. And then because I feel like you do see harsh lines, I'm just gonna take my larger Morphe brush and then just kind of soften all that up. Instead of adding translucent loose powder underneath the jawline, I'm actually just gonna take that Maybelline Fit Me powder, and I'm just gonna kind of use that to soften this up. And then I'll dust that away in a moment. Okay, so now let's finish the lower lash line. Let's go in with Punk and then push that underneath the lower lash line. You see what I mean? It's like a matte color and it's kind of patchy, or I feel like there's fallout. The matte shades are not as easy to work with in this palette as the shimmery colors are, which I anticipated. I feel like when I swatched that in store though, it was way creamier. Let's go in with the transition color and let's mix it in with the Riff. We don't want the bottom to be as poppy as the top. We just kind of want it to complement what's going on the top lid. I always smoke out my lower lash line. Let's go in with this Still Shot color and just like lighten things up just a little bit through here. Dust off this lower region. I'm going to pop on some liquid eyeliner, so I'm going to go in with the Tartiest pencils, or liquid pens. So this is black, brown, and a burgundy color. So we're going to go in with the black. These pens are so cute. They're kind of luxurious. I've never used this before either, but it has good reviews online. So we are just going to pop this on. Oh yeah, I love this. It is so good. It's such a dark black color, and it was really easy to apply. So I think if you are dabbling with eyeliners, definitely recommend this one. I really love the way it performed on my eye. We have our liquid eyeliner on. I'm going to get eyelashes on. So I'm just going to pop on some mascara. This is the Voluminous Superstar X Fiber. The formula is kind of drying though, so since I'm wearing false lashes, I'm not going to go like super heavy with the coats. Well, while the glue is drying, I'm actually going to take a little bit of this Still Shot color, and I'm going to actually mix it in with a little bit of this Hellride color right here. And we're just going to kind of use it as a blush. And I love this Morphe brush. This is the M438. This is so good for, I mean, literally anything on the face. Highlight, contour. These are the Kiss Page Boy like blowout lashes. I love Kiss lashes. I used them on all my clients when I did freelance, and I swear by them. They're the most comfortable lash to wear throughout the day. You can't even tell that you're wearing them. So I kind of let those get a little bit more tacky, and then I start to press the inner corners down as well. And so just to hide that lash band, I'm going to go in with a little bit more Tarte. Oh my god, I just noticed that this back end comes off and it's a pencil. You guys, I like these even more. And they were so inexpensive for how many, now I guess you kind of get technically 6 eyeliners. Just taking a little bit of black liquid eyeliner and covering up that lash band. Wow, I'm like so blown away. So now obviously I have to use one of these colors in the lower lash line. We've got the burgundy and then the dark brown. And I wasn't going to do a lower lash line liner, but now that we've got this end, I'm super intrigued by it. So let's see first of all how intense that it just broke off. So obviously not very impressed so far. I wanted to see how intense and pigmented that is. Maybe I was pushing too hard. I wear contact lenses, and sometimes bottom eyeliner in my waterline is just so uncomfortable for me. This seems to be fairly comfortable. And then for the highlight, we are almost done. I'm gonna grab Blaze, which is just this kind of goldy color, and I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of Ignite. And then we're just gonna tap that on the high points of the face. This Ignite color mixed in with the Still Shot as a blush is so pretty. Okay, and lastly for lips, this is the Dose of Colors Desi X Katie collaboration, and this is in the color Aftermath, which this packaging is so chic. And this color is the one that I was most drawn to at Ulta. They had some beautiful colors. The glosses were sold out by the time I went there at like Sunday in the afternoon, and it launched that morning. Oh, that's really good. Nothing like a brand new lipstick with a super sharp bullet. And that's a beautiful creamy matte lipstick, but it doesn't feel tight or rough. I didn't feel like it was pulling or dragging my lip in any specific direction. It feels good on the lip. I'm going to take Rimmel Coffee Bean Lip Liner, and I'm going to start to make my lips look super full. So I take a brand new sharpened pencil, and on this outer edge, I don't go too outside the lines. And then this lower edge, I do kind of a thicker line to really make that bottom lip look more full. And that is it, you guys. This is my video kind of just showcasing some new makeup that I've tried that I'm just playing with. You guys saw me open it on camera. I've never really demonstrated some of this before. I've never used this eyeliner, which obviously that's why I had some trials and tribulations with it. And then I really love this lipstick, you guys. I'm gonna go back and buy more lipsticks. This feels incredible on the lips. It has beautiful color payoff, and it just is the perfect fall brown lip you need in your makeup collection. And as usual, I will link everything I used below. I will talk about the brushes that I used, and then I'll also recommend some other products like brush sets that I think could be beneficial as well. If you have any questions, comment them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.